Morning. Join me this morning, thanks to my local ouse. It's the final Wednesday of the season. We've got another couple of days left. We have a few hours today, have a few hours tomorrow on Thursday. Don't know about Friday, but Saturday's the last day, and unfortunately that'll be it for 3 months. I've chosen an area to fish today which hasn't really seen a lot of anglers this year. It can be a productive area. It can also be not very productive. I'm actually sat by the chapel along 10 Mile Bank. And as you join me now, I'm actually just starting to introduce some bait into the swim. I've already clipped up. I've measured it out on the sticks. I'm sort of fishing 15 wraps on the stick. The rod I'm going to be using is a 12-foot rod. So doing the math, roughly round about 34 metres, just short of that. So I'm just introducing some bait. I'm actually fishing just past 3 parts of the way over, just as it starts to sort of shelve up. So if you like, at the bottom of the shelf. Normally use a 13-foot number 3 for baiting up, but silly Steve has left it at home, so having its debut airing for me is the distance feeder rod, which, to be fair, is making baiting up very, very easy. Quite deep out there. So you got round about 20 foot out there. So those of you who've been watching some of the videos know that I like to introduce a fair amount of bait. It's been quite productive for me sort of over the last couple of months. It's been quite productive for me over the last couple of months. I don't actually introduce a massive amount of loose offerings. Put a fair amount of caster in. I'm not putting a massive amount of chopped worm in. Worm hasn't really sort of done it for me. It has for other people rounding about. But most of my fish have been coming on the maggot. But I do tend to introduce still a little bit chopped worm into the swim at the start. Like I say, not a huge amount. Preferring to sort of caster. So that's what I'm going to actually be introducing. So like I say, it's not a massive amount of bait. Probably a little bit more chopped worm than what I would normally, but we are at the end of the season, so let's give them a treat. Plus it was mild last night, which might sort of spur the fish into having a bit of a feed. Like I say, this area, I've sort of asked a few people and nobody's been fishing this area this time. I'm a firm believer that, you know, if you can find somewhere which is almost like sanctuary, where hasn't seen many anglers or hasn't seen anglers on a regular basis, I think you've got a good chance of catching 1 or 2 fish. Plus we're coming towards the end of the season, so why not, eh? Ground bait mix I'm actually using. I'm just using up some bags that I've got lying around more than anything else. It's Pro Natural Bream, which I've got about half a bag which I had open. Pro Natural Bream Dark. I had half a bag of Special G Green that was open, so I've stuck that in there as well. And I've also chucked in 3/4 of a bag of Special G Dark. So it's along the lines of what I normally use. It's still got that dark green sort of hue to it. Clarity of the water, it's probably a little bit darker than what I have been using. Like I say, water's gone a little bit clear now. Hope you're counting, because I've lost count. So I'm going to fish 12-foot rod over there. I've actually took a couple of turns off the clip just to make sure I'm in the right place. Took a good couple of minutes to make sure I was where I wanted to be. A few casters in, a bit worm. I do favour fishing at the bottom of that shelf. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Water's got a little bit of movement on it. So we just got to the bottom, so as you can tell it's got a good old depth to it. It's a beauty 10 mile, very deep. Been a lot of anglers about of late, sort of on the relief channel further down. They'll be getting some bream and some tench. The Wissy Mouth has been proving popular just lately. Old boy Alfie's up there today. There's a couple of guys up there yesterday. Had a few skimmers as well. Had a couple of messages off a gentleman over at Wiz Beach, Paul Smith, sort of coming over. They've been struggling to find 1 or 2 fish, so told him to sort of head up that way, Wissy Mouth, sort of a few pegs just down from it. Hopefully they might be able to get 1 or 2 fish. There's 1 or 2 anglers sort of fishing along by the Pink House, which, as you know, I've had a couple of good sessions there this time. So yeah, it's nice to see some anglers on the bank. Hopefully be a half decent end of the season. Got the umbrella up plain simply because that wind's meant to get up later, sort of 30 mile an hour plus gusts. Southwesterly, so I'm sat in an angle. I will have my rod down even though there's a little bit of movement on the water. I will have my rod down. I can always put it up if they decide to run it off a little bit. They have ran, looking at the tide mark on the slats over the other side, they have ran a fair amount of water off it again. So we'll put another couple of 3 of these in, and that will do us. I don't normally sort of show the video of baiting up. I normally get in with the fishing, but just thought it'd be interesting just to show how much what I actually put in. Big fan of using the Guru bait up feeders for introducing a lot of ground bait. If I'm introducing a lot of free offerings, then I'll probably put 80% in with the Guru ones. Then I'll change over to the Preston bait up feeders, which are, I would say, like a basket. One for luck. That's the one for luck. and I always put one in just lately. This time, last sort of couple of months, I've always been putting one extra one in. You'll see why in a minute. So I've had the one for luck. I said to my mate Ian a while back, one for luck, and this one's for Mick. Lost an angler sort of just after Christmas. Fished a lot down here, so we've had the one for luck, and that's the one for Mick. So that's the baiting up done. That's the baiting up done. I'll talk you through the tackle I'm going to use. Right, tackle I'm actually going to use to fish with. Cadence CR10 number 2 feeder, 12 foot. This is, like you know, is probably my favourite rod out the whole range. It's so versatile. Nice soft action, perfect I think for this style of fishing. You can also use it on lakes, really good on lakes for bream, it's sort of 40-50 metres. Like I say, it's a lovely soft action. Got it fitted with a 1.5 inch tip. I've got it matched up with CS10 4000 reel. I've got Dave Howell angling 5-pound mono there. You can see I got my shock leader, which is the DH mono, feeder mono, 6 pound. Got my normal twizzled loop there, running link down to a stop, and I've got a quick change swivel bead there. So I've got a load of feeders by the side of me. I know by casting out with an ounce bomb that sort of picked up on the flow a little bit, but it didn't bounce, so I'm going to start on an ounce feeder. Put a lot of bait out, so I'm just going to use normal Nisa plastic open end. That's an ounce. I've got 2-inch feeder link, Dean Barlow special. There you go, so that's free running, as you can see there. Now hook length. I always tend to start sort of on an 012 at the moment, because I'm going to be using 2 maggots, tip with a pinky, maybe a small bit of worm. I'm actually going to start with a 16. Pattern I'm going to use is it's a Garbolino hook. Can't remember the number, but it's a wide gate hook, perfect for feeder fishing. Sort of bought some when I was off and decided to give them a go. I've used them last sort of couple of trips out fishing the maggot. If I need to drop down to an 011, then I'll fish an 18. So I've got a 28-inch hook length there, the size 16 hook, sorry. On there, I'm going to start with double maggot, tip with a pinky. So that's ready to go. Right, chuck them back in there. Like I say, got a nice selection. Cover all bases. Loads of feeders by the side of me as well. That's what we've got left of the ground bait. So it's got that sort of dark green sort of hue to it. It's quite strong mix, like I say. Very sweet with the bream, very strong with the fish meal. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's been working for me of late, so can't see any reason to change. Got some pinkies there. Some pinkies. And I've got some reds and some fluoros. And that's it. I've got some more casters by the side of me. Got some worm. I'm just going to chop up a little bit more worm now. And get everything sorted for the off. So hopefully, might get 1 or 2 fish. And say, it's meant to cloud over a little bit later, but the bait's out there, so the table's set. I'm also going to set up my 11-foot rod, just as a sort of negative line that I'm just going to fish in the middle. Probably fish with a 20 hook, single maggot. Just drop it down through the middle, see if there's any roach or any skimmers about. To start, probably do that for about half an hour. Then I'll go out on this and see how we get on. So I'll get everything else sorted, and we'll catch up with you in a bit. Oosh! We've gone out on that. Had a bite, sort of first cast. Now I'm into a fish already. Feels like a big skimmer. Got a bit of bankside vegetation. Even though it's dead, it will cut the line really, really easy, so got to be careful there. Big skimmer. Wasn't expecting it so quick. In fact, you'd say that was bordering on a bream. Part of his tail missing. It's a beautiful start. If that start, then I don't know what is. See if we can get 1 or 2 more. Skimmer. A little skimmer. in she goes. A nice fish. Actually just stuck a worm on because I was getting silly little bit bites all the time. So the worm hasn't been really producing too many fish. I thought just give it a go. And there we go. No, we'll get him in the net. There we go. See if we can get one or two more. Slimy. Or as my mate called it the other day, snot gobbler. Skimmer. Lovely skimmer. Notice that the flow's just picked up a little tiny bit, which is good. I'm on the worm. I've actually dropped down a feeder size. Where I was on an ounce, I'm actually on 3/4 of an ounce now. Just keeping an eye on the flow. Like I say, it's just eased up a little, just picked up a little bit. Make sure it doesn't bounce. I'm actually fishing the worm. So I'd had that fish earlier on the worm, and sometimes when you're getting bitted out, you're 100% sure there's some skimmers in the swim. Sit it out on the worm and you can be rewarded. So I'm fishing double worm. Just cut worm in half and snip it on. So still fishing the same area. We just got rod up in the air. Let the flow pick, not tighten it up. Let the flow pick the line up. Just watch for a little drop back bite or a nod. Anything that resembles a bite, just pick it up. So if it does bounce a little bit, I've got one of the Nisa 5 gram clip-on weights there, and I'll just put that on because I think an ounce will probably be too heavy. But just feel away in, now it's picked up a bit, and go from there. Bite there. Drop back bite. Not big fish. Nice fish nonetheless. Skimmer. just threw a window feeder over the top. Caught a lovely roach. Beautiful fish that was. Beautiful roach. Look at that lovely fish. That beautiful roach. So what I've just done is just put another couple of big feeder falls out. So I thought I'd just single maggot, little window feeder. Had that fish straight away. Just a small guru window feeder. And a single fluoro maggot. Just got it clipped up on the same spot. Got a cadence 11-foot number 1 feeder and his CS5 4000 reel, 5-pound main line. Just fishing a 18 hook in a 011 bob. So I've just put about 5 more big feeder falls over the top. The flow's eased again and they keep mucking about with the flow. With a little bite there. I wouldn't mind a roach like that, that's a dead cert. Seems to be very few and far between though, just lately. So just putting a pinch of chop worm in caster, just plugging it off. So just got this clipped up on the same line. A lot of little fish hitting it as it's going through. A lot of time they're actually hitting the feeder. Fish hit that on the way through again. Feels like another roach. Might be wrong. That's good. a lot of fish doing this on Saturday when I got a bit shy. Okay. Slippery, slimy skimmer on the window. I thought I'd sort of throw a bit of a sleeper rod out while I was having my dinner. Namely, I put a heavier hook length on the bait up rod, which is that distance feeder rod, and it's just gone round. I think I was quite surprised more than anything else. Put a big old worm on. So it's the first time I've actually even had fish on it, so nice fish, nice action rod, feels a nice fish as well. No bend in the rod anyway. There we go. Now that is absolutely brilliant. I didn't expect that one for 1 minute. Oh, look at that fish. Blimey. That is an absolute corker of a tench. Get the slam away. There we go. Right down him. Look at that. Absolute beast of a fish. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Oosh. I've been plagued with the odd small fish. I had one skimmer on the caster, then nothing else, and I've just fish again. Been sort of big skimmers, so they're nice fish to catch. Sort the size that I always say, like, they're probably willing to feed. Not all the time, but just shows that those fish are actually in the swim. You can sit there so much as a bite, and all of a sudden make one little difference and you get bite straight away. Beautiful skimmer. So I'll say that's come to the caster. Proper sort of green bite as well as just a nod, and away he went. Like my mate Ian says, caster fishing is a disease. Wind's got up fairish now. They brought the level up again as well. Probably come up about an inch, I would have said. Water's coloured up a little bit as well. But it hasn't been a bad session really. I've had a couple of bream, I've had some skimmers, a few roach, a few perch, a nice big dog tench as well. I'm actually going to put a big bit of worm on shortly. Have bite to eat. Leave it out for about sort of 15-20 minutes like I did last time, just to see if there's another one nosing around. Yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant, I would say. Nice to get a few fish. So just talking to a gentleman sort of further up, getting a lot of small fish. I really believe that the fish meal has helped keep one or two of those small fish at bay. They're still there, don't get me wrong, sort of put a maggot on and you do get one, but it's not being attacked as it's hitting on the bottom. Hopefully another couple of hours or so and we might get one or two more. A little skimmer on the caster. Beautiful. Beautiful fish. Say get one of the two of them coming like that on the caster. Be a nice way to round off the session. So all I'm doing is just picking out the casters, hit rim with a chop worm. Caster. Still putting a little pinch of worm and caster in the feeder. We'll see roughly how far I'm fishing over with a bit of luck. A little bit further than 3 parts, like I say, that shelf sort of quite pronounced here. See if we can get another. Then I'm going to stick a big old worm out there. See if Tommy tenches. Well, we've had another great session. We've had 3 bream, some skimmers, got a few roach, a few perch, and also had a nice tench. I'm actually just fishing the sweet corn now, and I've just had a little skimmer on the corn. It's beautiful now, the wind's eased off a little bit. But yeah, all in all, it's been a half decent session. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Caught some fish on the maggot to start with. Then I've had 1 or 2 on the worm. Gone back to the maggot. I swapped over to the caster this afternoon, and I've had 5 or 6 fish on the caster as well. Like I say, now I've just had a couple of fish on the corn to finish. Been up and down a little bit with the water. I mean, they've put a little bit of water in it from when I started. It's coloured up the water a little bit. It's still moving a small amount, not as much as what it was first of all when I got here, but nonetheless it's been another great session. Not long left now before the end of the season, so any fish that come along are very well received. But I'm going to get the net out to dry. We'll have a quick look at the fish, and we'll stick the net on the bank to have a bit of a blow for half an hour. I'm going to put a big worm on the big rod, just leave it out there just to see if there's another tench about. It's unpacking all the gear away. Like I say, all in all, it's been very, very enjoyable. Hopefully you can get out on the bank before the season finishes. I know I'm out Saturday, got another couple of days this week. I'm going to possibly fish one of the 2 days, I don't know which day yet. So hopefully we can get 1 or 2 fish then as well. Have a great end of the season yourselves, and I'll catch you next time on the bank.